Hello everyone. With so many people traveling for Thanksgiving, we're going to take a wide look at the forecast and walk you through the weather across the country today through Sunday. And of course, we've got to start with today, with many folks hitting the roads and taking to the skies. And honestly, we couldn't ask for a much better travel day than this because a lot of us are going to have dry conditions. Got to mention chance of rain from South Texas on up to Oklahoma, mainly isolated showers, some isolated showers in southern Florida, a scattered rain-snow mix in parts of Wyoming and Montana, but for most of us, nothing going on, and pretty reasonable temperatures as well, though certainly some variety from the mid-30s in Fargo to the mid-80s down in Miami. Now, there's going to be a little bit more going on for tonight, but not too much. I still think a lot of us are going to be dry for the big night for going out right before Thanksgiving. Notice the vast majority in the east and the west dry, a little bit more showing up though in Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Missouri, and also still a chance for some snow showers, mainly at higher elevations in Colorado, Wyoming, and Montana. But I do think things are going to deteriorate for Thanksgiving, unfortunately, at least for some. Not going to be a terrible Thanksgiving for everyone, but do have to highlight East Texas and Louisiana. That's where the most widespread rain is going to be. We're talking about heavy rain and lightning being common, and unfortunately, there is a small chance for some severe storms as well. Damaging wind, hail, that's a possibility in East Texas on over to Louisiana, including the Houston area. Because this is a cold front, and it's running into some warm, humid air. Look at that, 75 in Houston versus still in the mid-30s in Fargo. Also, farther to the north, not worried about severe storms, but still a good chance of rain across Arkansas, Missouri, and then it becomes more isolated showers as you get into central Illinois, eastern Iowa. Notice some scattered showers across Florida as well, and look at that rain-snow mix in New Mexico and North Texas. Keep an eye on that because that's actually looking like it could end up being some fairly significant snow, especially for this early in the season. Let's talk about Thursday night because I know this is going to be another night where lots of folks are going to be going out, whether you're wrapping up your Thanksgiving activities or transitioning to standing in line for some Black Friday shopping. Look how the rain spreads to more locations in the east. So look how it's filling in across Indiana, Ohio, across Alabama, into Georgia, South Carolina, maybe even getting into Virginia as we get into late Thursday night. So anywhere across the southeast and the mid-Atlantic, probably not a bad idea to carry the umbrella with you if you're planning on doing any shopping very late Thursday night, or at least getting ready to do some shopping late Thursday night into early Friday morning. So let's then talk about Black Friday, and notice how it is going to be scattered rain showers, particularly I would say in the southeast around Tennessee, Kentucky early in the day, and then probably focused later in the day right in the northeast and along the east coast. So looking pretty wet across Virginia on up in New Jersey and on up into Maine, where there might be a little bit of a rain-snow mix there. And look how the rain filling back in across Texas. Notice just showers because Houston has cooled down, but still rain. And look at that rain-snow mix, which may still be, especially early in the day Friday, mostly snow in North Texas. But also got to mention north central part of the country, dry, pretty windy over in Billings, but look at how a lot of the west is going to be dry with the exception of the Pacific Northwest. Some rain coming down for Black Friday in Seattle. All right, so Friday night. Notice how the activity will be finishing up in the northeast and looking dry around much of the Midwest, activity in the Pacific Northwest a little bit, but the main focus is still what's going on in East Texas, across Oklahoma, rain, and look at that rain-snow mix. And as we transition to Saturday, we're going to keep an eye on that area that's mostly in Texas and how it's going to be spreading, an area of low pressure and a cold front combined with it. So this is Saturday now, and the good chance of rain, especially in the morning, going to be in Oklahoma and Texas. But then this area is going to be transitioning as we go through the day Saturday into places like Alabama and Georgia, and getting into Illinois, especially southern Illinois. And so when we get to Saturday night, look how it's moving more to the north and east. And this is going to be the wet period for the Chicago area, across Indiana, Ohio, and still stretching back down into the southeast. But notice how Texas, Oklahoma, drying out, drier, cooler air coming in behind the front. And so this brings us to Sunday, the other big travel day. And if you're traveling in the central part of the country, look at that. Look how it's going to be completely dry. Got to mention rain and snow showers, especially higher elevations towards the north and west, and then continuing to follow this front. So in the morning hours, more in the Chicago, Kentucky area, Ohio, but then transitioning up into the northeast as we go through the day on Sunday. So where things could be a little bit slower on the roads and at the airports is looking like particularly the mid-Atlantic into the northeast. But again, in the central part of the country, nothing to worry about. So I know that was a lot of information, but I've got two more graphics for you that I think do a good job of summarizing the story for the next 5 days. The first is the expected rainfall over the next 5 days. And notice how there are some places that look to stay completely dry, particularly if you're going to be in the southwest, Los Angeles, no rain, and from El Paso, really is going to be the dividing line. East of El Paso, definitely a lot more rain, but El Paso itself probably staying dry. Salt Lake City looking to stay dry. Notice Pacific Northwest, a different story there. Much wetter than what we're going to be seeing farther to the south. North central part of the country, really from Omaha on up to the north, may stay completely dry or very small rain chances. Different story though as we transition to the east. Now, if you look around the Great Lakes and Northeast, yeah, there's going to be rain around, but not too much of it. It doesn't look like it's going to be really wet over the next 5 days, but there are going to be periods of rain. But what we've got to highlight is what's going on from Texas across the southeast. It is looking pretty wet, you could call it, over the next 5 days. And what we've got to highlight in particular, East Texas and Louisiana, see those shades of purple showing up? 3 to 4 inches of rain. There could be some isolated totals higher than that. That's the one location where there could be some flooding, especially over the next few days. And then the one last map I've got for you is snow. As you can see here, most not seeing any snow. In fact, if anything, a little bit less snow than usual for this time of year, even fewer locations to the north seeing snow than might otherwise would. I've got to mention in the far northeast, some snow showers there, but they're kind of used to that. Could be a dusting, maybe a half an inch in parts of Wisconsin, Michigan, nothing big. Definitely, you can see the main focus is going to be in the Rockies and the Cascades. So notice even Denver, just 0.3 of an inch of snow. So it's mainly going to be at higher elevation. The one thing that's an anomaly here is what's going on in North Texas. Very unusual to see this much snow this early in the season.